Pep, in the week of another Champions League final, I'd like to take you back, if I can, to your first Champions League final as a manager. Obviously, it was in your first season as well of management, getting all the way to the final, winning it with Barcelona. I was lucky enough to be there. Your team was absolutely wonderful. I just wonder, though, because it was your first season, did it in any way fool you into thinking that this competition was more straightforward than it perhaps has been since? And I just wonder how your view of winning the Champions League has changed over perhaps the last 12 years.
You know, I'm fortunate. I was fortunate alongside with many people. When you have in your career as a manager was one time arrive in the last stages or the challenge to win the Champions League is great. So it doesn't mean that you have to win the Champions League every season and win everything. Most of the times you are not even there for along your career. I don't ask anything else that I live so far in my career, and I'm pretty sure I will not ask anything more. So it just to work to try to arrive in the last stages. This year we made a fantastic Champions League tournament and we are in the final and we have 4 or 5 days to prepare the final. That's all. So, and when I started being manager, I never thought for one instant to get or to live what we live with many people, what we live in these 12, 13 years as a manager. Never, ever, impossible. So what could ask more of that? No, I wouldn't do it.
And do you have your team in mind for this week yet? And if not, is there anything that the players can do this week between now and the final to work their way into your starting lineup?
No, they are ready. I know how good they are, all of them, and I'm not going to change for 1 or 2 training sessions. They're going to convince me. So I know them, most of them, for many years. So no, I have an idea, but still the start 11 still is not done, not yet.
Next we go to Rob Dawson.
Hi, Pep. All the way back at the start of the season, you said you had a special feeling about this season's Champions League. Obviously, you've been proved right because you've got all the way to the final. I just wondered, what was it all the way back at the start of the season that made you feel that this season's competition was or could be special?
No, I never thought, Rob, in the beginning of the season that this was the season to get the final of the Champions League. I never approached this competition in the beginning since I started in Barcelona do it because listen, we are quite similar teams like we were in the past when we were out. The margins has little details, and this year was fell down on our side, and when the many years or a few years ago was the opposite. So no change much. So now we were quite satisfied to get the final, but we know that if you don't have a huge desire to win it, a huge desire to know exactly what you have to do the best of us, or will not be possible to win the game and win the Champions League.
Thank you, Rob. Next we go to Andy Hampson.
Hello, Pep. Since they reached the final, in the last few weeks, Chelsea seem to have gone off the boil a bit. They've lost 3 of the last 4 games. Do you think that's significant at all?
Congratulations for Chelsea.
Well, their form wouldn't seem to be great going into this game. Do you think that's something that's to your advantage?
Different competitions. Congratulations. New game. We're going to see what happens.
Okay, Andy, thank you. We'll next go to Guillaume Balaguer.
Hi, Pep. It's well known that you've got a close friendship with Tuchel. The first time you met, I think it was about 6 years ago in Munich. And from what I hear, your assistants were saying, "Why are you telling him so much stuff?" Because every time you play against him, they were getting closer and closer to you. Could you give us a little bit of an insight of those conversations? I mean, there was plenty of learning from you as well. There was plenty of good wine. What was going on there?
No, Thomas Tuchel was in that moment working in Bayern Munich, and he organized a dinner together in Munich in a nice restaurant, Schumann's Bar, with Peter Hermann. In that moment, was assistant coach from Jupp Heynckes, and we talk football, and football. That's all. So we talk about this, about that, and what their feelings, our loves about in that moment the good players, bad players, and football. With football, with interesting people, because I learn a lot, and a good food and a good wine always is a nice moment to share. So good memory. So since then, we grew up, and of course, and both of us, we have a good relation. I respect him, but he knows, I know, so we want to win.
Thank you, Guillaume. Dom Dietrich.
Hi, Pep. You okay? I just wanted to ask you about Phil Foden, and I guess the Phil Foden you first met when you first arrived at the club compared to the Phil you know today. What sort of journey has he been on as a footballer and as a man, and how important is he to this team going into the final?
Well, we cannot expect one player start with 17 years old training with us. It will be the same player with 20 years old. You're being the 20-year it would be the same player with 20 years old. He would have not played the minutes that he played this season. So he grew up, his ambition, and he's ready. So he's playing good this season, and we're going to see. He has his chance to play the final.
Thank you, Dom. Next we go to Gideon Brooks.
Hi, Pep. Two recent defeats to Chelsea. Has that given you problems to solve and ideas to work on, or something to worry about?
Chelsea create problems, all the teams. We have to do how many problems we create them. Difficult to stop them for the quality they have, for the setup. The team is wide in the sides and depth, and they are so close. The distances, the players in between, they are so closer, and they play really good in the pockets. They make incredible good in behinds. So create problems all the teams, not just us. So what do you have to do to create them? I said like before your call, congratulations, the 2 games they beat us. So it's another competition, the final, and we will see what happens.
Thank you, Gideon. Dominic Farrell.
Hi, Pep. When you were a player at Barcelona, you won for the first time, Barcelona's first European Cup, but they'd lost European finals previously, and then you managed Barca when they had played more finals, won some, lost some. Is there a different feeling and a mood around City as a club who've never been to this stage before compared to the Barcelona you played for and managed?
But when we won the 92 in Barcelona, football player, Barcelona lost before 2 or 3 times. Some were unlucky, some of them so unlucky. And sometimes you need time, but the important is the way we are going to approach the final. What do you have to do to win the game? So, and we are going to play to win the game. And then after the consequences on the results, on Sunday we analyze, and on Monday as well. And this only I'm concerned. I'm not thinking. Sometimes clubs needs more finals to win the first one, and other clubs need just one shot to be the champion. So hopefully it will be the case. That's for sure. That if this club is new for many things, if for many reasons we are new for many things, is this club. So we are in this period. We live. We make back-to-back for the first time. We break a lot of records for first time and play the final, arrive the semi-final for the second time, arrive the final for the first time. So as a club, as an organization, we are not old in this case. But in terms of how excited we are and how delighted and satisfied and many things, nobody can beat us on that. Nobody.
Thank you, Dom. Next we go to Arthur Quezada.
Yes, hello, Pep. Are you listening to me?
Yeah, perfectly.
All right. Pep, we went to San Pedro to do some interviews about you and tracking your profile. And over there, we spoke to a friend of you, Augusti. And he told us a story that once in a football game at school, you broke your arm and you kept playing because you didn't want to lose. Do you remember this story? And does it show how competitive you still are in this sport?
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
No. But Agustí don't lie, must be true, but I don't remember. I remember we won the game, that's for sure, but I don't remember we break the arm and I could not play. Yeah, in that period, Arthur, you are young. In that period, in my little town when I was born, there is one option. It's just play on the street. So we don't have mobile phones, machines, and these kind of things that everybody use. We were lucky, we were fortunate. So all the time we were in the street. And I'm pretty sure we play football, not just football, basketball and all the games there. So that's why maybe it's happened, but I don't remember.
Okay, thank you, Arthur. And Jack Gordon?
Hi, Pep. You talk about the small margins in these big European games. Obviously, the appointment of the referee caught quite a lot of attention when it got announced by UEFA, given the history. Have you spoken to him since that Liverpool match?
No.
Have you been in contact?
No.
Is it the sort of thing that you just can't allow yourself to worry about before the game, and you just got to hope that there's no drama?
No 1 second. I could not care less.
But you've got confidence that
I'm so confident.
I'm
I'm so confident in my team. You cannot imagine how confident I am in my team and what do you have to do.
Okay, Jack, thank you. Kieran Canning?
Hi, Pep. You've been able to use the squads quite a bit since winning the league a couple of weeks ago, and that was similar to your two previous finals at Barcelona, where you won the league with a few weeks to spare and give more time to prepare for the final. Obviously, Chelsea, by contrast, have had to keep fighting until the final day. Is that an advantage in terms of your preparation for the final, that you've been able to focus on it?
Will be advantage if we win, will be disadvantage if we lose. So I don't know, Kieran, right now. So it happened. So we are fortunate to win the Premier League 3 games ago, before, Yen. And the real preparation for the Champions League will be tomorrow day after Wednesday and Thursday. These 2 days we're going to prepare the final. So the last days we prepare the games, celebrate the Premier League all the time, good mood, no stress. Keep focusing, okay, Newcastle and Brighton and the other ones, and improve now for the last 3 games, the good things, the bad things we have done, and now Wednesday and Thursday are going to prepare specifically the final.
Thank you, Kieran. Simon Evans?
But just in terms of the defensive side of the game, you mentioned that Chelsea play very close together, and just from your defensive side, is it that area there where they're playing sometimes Pulisic, Havertz, Mount in that sort of inside channels, pockets there? Is that going to be the crucial area in terms of nullifying Chelsea, or is there somewhere else that you see as the biggest threat?
No, maybe I explained not well. I said when they have the ball, it's difficult to control them for the fact that they are so close. The distances between the players in the middle, they are so close. Related to them, the Tuchel midfielders, they move perfectly between each other, and in the same time they make the pitch wide with the wingbacks and so deep with the movements for the burner. So that's why it's difficult to control, because with that movement they move perfectly with Pulisic and Mount in the pockets, and once they get the ball they are so direct. They are not the players for the pass the ball. They are the movement so clever. That's why I saw this morning yesterday they played Aston Villa, and the first time they were losing 1-0, but they play good in terms of they control the game. They know exactly what they have to do. The process, the methodology, all the the process they do it really well. So that's why it's a fine. It's a final Champions League. So I could not expect, less tough, opponent. And so we know it, and okay, we are going to face them, knowing what you have to do to beat them. So I'm more concerned what you have to do with the ball. So it's a team created to do what you have to do with the ball. Our strategy without the ball is run as much as possible, and our strategy as a team from the day one when we arrive is what we do with the ball. And this is what I'm going to work the last 2-3 days before the final on Saturday.
Okay, last question we'll take, please, from Alexis Hontag. You're on mute, Alexis.
Yeah. Hi, Pep. Following the previous question, do you expect a very defensive game in Porto, and the winner being the team who strikes the first goal?
And the high pressing is defensive in deep in many in many things. So not just one point will define the final.
Okay, thank you everyone. Thank you.
Yeah?
¿Cuándo?
¿Ara?
Sí, allá, sonriendo.
Allá.
Y grabamos aquella foto del...
That's okay.
It's not, they're not going to do it.
We've got TVs to do now.
Which one, mate?